Federal Capital Territory, FCT Emergency Management Agency is to introduce emergency marshals as part of action plan for disaster management in 2023. Director General Fema Alhaji Abbas Idris made this known during a media briefing on his 2022 scorecard. Correspondent Hulina Adojo completes the story.
The Director General, FCT Emergency Management Agency, Alhaji Abbas Idris, said the media briefing was another opportunity to let the citizens know some of the emergency interventions carried out in 2022, adding that planning ahead is necessary in any emergency response. The DG Fema, recalling the flood that ravaged some parts of the country last year, said it was the worst experienced by Nigeria in decades, as it created humanitarian crisis in many parts of the country. He attributed the successes recorded in flood management in the FCT last year to early warning and sensitization.
To tell you the truth, what we require in this country is for people to know the hazards. Once they know the hazards, and then you tell them what to do before the hazard, during the hazard, and after the hazard, then you see compliance. And that is the secret we have in the FCT. We start our sensitization as early as possible. By next month, we are going to start our own assessment of the entire FCT, identifying areas that had flooding in 2022, and then also what caused the flooding in 2022, and then what will be the consequences if we allow it the way it is for 2023. And then we look at the impact that it's going to cause. But if there is anything that we need to do, we'll do it before the rainfall. We are expecting rainfall in this part of the country, North Central, by God's grace, between May and April and May, end of April and May.
While noting that funding remains a major challenge in disaster management, Alhaji Idris said the agency tried to close the funding gap through collaboration with non-governmental organizations. Speaking on the action plan for 2023, the Fema boss gave a projection of expectations and activities of the emergency marshals.
We'll introduce this year the emergency marshals, and these are volunteers who assist every community, especially in the schools where they have boarding. We'll make sure that in the schools we have them, in the hospitals, so that they can assist, and also the public areas, especially, like I said, we are going to concentrate on the communities. They also assist in facility services, risk management and safety services by reporting conditions. Like, for instance, they will report conditions of certain facilities in an area. For instance, let's say Kwali, and there is a collapse or near collapse bridge or whatever. They will report this thing before any rainfall, so that we now tell the relevant agency to go and carry out repairs.
Responding to questions on budgetary allocation and spending by the agency, unauthorized locations and sales of coking gas, and collaboration with area councils in waste management in the FCT, Alhaji Idris said the agency has taken care of all the areas of concerns in the 2023 action plan. As part of the media briefing, the DG Fema responded to questions on the demolition of IDP camp in Durumi.
And one thing that I want you to understand, one thing I want you to understand is that we don't have IDP camps in the FCT. Anywhere in the FCT, there's no IDP camp. So please, you people should stop writing camps. What we have is IDP settlement. And settlement is even self-settlement. It's not a government settlement. There's no government settlement residing any IDP in the FCT. No. So they choose to stay where they are, and we follow them with our interventions. That is what happened. So even the profiling we did was based on where we got you. So if there is anybody residing at AYA here, we'll profile him and then mark the area as an IDP settlement. That is all we do. So if there is a demolition, and I'm aware of the demolition, which I was part of the task force. I'm part of the task force. So it is based on security issues.
In a remark, Chairman, FCT Ministers Press Corps, Mr. Hudu Yakubu, lauded Fema's effort in effective disaster management in 2022, promising to collaborate with the agency in 2023 through media sensitization. Alhaji Abbas Idris used the briefing to commend FCT residents for their cooperation, particularly in heeding to early warning. He said that Fema in 2022 responded to 42 distress calls on the 112 emergency toll-free numbers. Ulina Adojo, ASO Television News.